Yeah, I mean, we don't even know what we hit. That doesn't look normal. Let's grab a mask.
In late August 2018, a quiet mobile home park in Clinton Township, Michigan, became the center of a chilling discovery. Two teenagers, 18-year-old Danielle Marzejka and her 19-year-old boyfriend, Seren Bryan, vanished without a trace. Days later, their bodies were found stuffed inside trash bags in a shed behind Danielle's family home. And the killer? Shockingly, it was Danielle's own brother. This is the story of betrayal, violence, and the hidden darkness within a family.
911, where is your emergency?
Hello?
Hello, 911.
Hi, I need someone to come to my house immediately.
Okay, what's going on over there?
Well, my sister's been missing for 4 or 5 days. Her and her boyfriend. And we just found 2 bags in the shed. We slide over, I think they're in the shed in a bag today, and I'm just scared to open it.
Okay, we don't want you to touch anything, okay, because if it is something like that, there's going to be evidence, okay?
We stopped.
Okay, you said there's how many bags in that shed?
There's like 5 bags, but these 2 are the ones with flies all over them. Okay, can you just get someone here to check, please?
Yep, we're getting that one on the way. What's your name?
Kevin Marzejka. Get over here, please.
Danielle Marzejka was just 18. Friends described her as warm, kind, and protective of the people she loved. She lived with her father and 2 brothers in Clinton Township. Seren Bryan, 19, was her boyfriend.
What a little fatty. She just woke up to get Chinese food.
Those who knew him say he was thoughtful, polite, and often seen alongside Danielle. Together, they were inseparable. 2 young people figuring out life and love. To everyone around them, their relationship was ordinary. But in the background, tensions at home were growing.
You're showing up first, nothing is secure. You don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know if there is a body in a bag, if a murder suspect's still on scene. It's not a call you receive a lot, if any, in your lifetime. So I wasn't prepared for what I was gonna see.
Sir, hi. Hey. So what's going on here?
So, my sister, his daughter, has been missing for 5 days now.
Okay.
I did a walk around the house, check if there was any trails or anything suspicious. Seen a boatload of flies behind the shed. And when I pulled things out, we have these bags
Smells like death here.
filled with flies, and they don't look good. I can't even.
What makes you think that she's there? What was this something happened for her?
Don't make me think she's there. Don't tell me she's there. I can't even.
So let's just see what we got first. And
Yeah, I mean, we don't even know what we hit. That doesn't look normal. Let's grab a mask.
Should be 2 in there, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's get it on the roots. Yes. That's my case.
Navi. I got seniority. I'll do the light. I walked up, then I observed a garbage bag on the ground directly in front of me, ripped open, and immediately could see a person wearing a black t-shirt, and then I observed the left thigh skin exposed of a person. Oh yeah, dude, we don't have the cuff. We're confirmed. Immediately confirmed that yes, we have a body. We're confirmed. Confirmed.
Yes, it is. It is. Get everybody out here.
I watched as both bodies were removed from the bags, and I saw that both bodies had been duct taped Their hands were bound together. Their feet were bound together. They also had duct tape around their mouths or over their nose. And they also had bags put over their head and then duct taped around those bags around their neck. I've been employed with Clinton Township Police for 18 years. This one will stand out in my mind as being more gruesome, if not than any one I've ever seen.
They were immediately clearing that home, making it safe so that not a possible suspect hiding in there.
Police! I peeled off to the left and we started searching and just started going room by room, checking everything.
That's as tense as it gets, is clearing a house. We're going through each room, we're opening each closet door, immediately drawing and getting our light in there, making sure nobody is in there hiding that could possibly do harm to us.
That's all clear up to that point.
Get back there.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm gonna start tape.
Yeah, I got tape right here.
I'll tie it here and then we'll get the plots.
Sound good?
Great. I got a doozy here, there. Yeah, then we open that second there, so we don't know anything. It looks that each bag looks like it will be one body.
I opened up a bag and found multiple items inside of it covered in blood. One of which was a small mallet. Immediately thought that, hey, we could possibly have a murder weapon here. We continued on. Duct tape with blood on it. There was bed sheets with blood on it.
Danielle's father saw her and Seren for what would be the last time. After that night, no one heard from them again. Calls went unanswered. Text messages stopped. At first, relatives assumed the couple had gone out. But as hours turned into days, fear set in.
The cops told me she just ran away.
How old is she?
18. Her and her boyfriend Seren is 19. We're both missing. They both work with me. I dropped them off after work on Thursday morning. They've been missing since Thursday at 8 a.m. That's when I dropped them off. That's the last time they were seen.
Drop them on?
Here, their house, after work.
That was the last time you saw him?
That's the last time anyone saw them.
Danielle's work friend was trying to help find her, and she had been home with Danielle's father, Robert, looking around. When we started talking about the shed,
So we were looking for the key. We couldn't find the key. One of the keys is missing.
he said Robert couldn't find his key or couldn't produce a key. It wasn't then until they had to call Robert's son, Kevin, to bring a key over to the house.
So we found a spare, and there was a bag covered in splies, so like dust, can't figure out what we in it. So her dad and brother cut it open and pulled the plastic apart, and then both screamed, freaked out, and ran to the shed.
This isn't so that was bigger. So at this point in the investigation, we had a shed that was not broken into. Someone used a key to get into that shed. We had what appeared to be 2 bodies stuffed in bags in that shed. We had a couple different stories on whose key was used. And at that point, we were trying to figure out whose story was true, who we could believe, and who we couldn't.
Me. Nope.
It's kind of rough, isn't it?
Very good.
You gotta think that I don't want him to be my daughter. I can't.
When I was talking to Robert, he was odd. He was acting strange. We just kind of let him talk. I positioned myself so my camera would be on him and let him go. I didn't know how involved he was with this. I didn't know why there was body parts in a shed. He said he lived there, but he didn't know anything about that person being inside of the shed.
When you in your shed, it was locked, right?
Yeah.
You and Kevin were. Whose key do you use?
Mine.
Seren didn't have any enemies. he was pretty even-tempered. Wasn't anyone that you'd see flying off the handle. He had his limits, like everyone. Seren didn't know anyone out in Clinton Township besides Danielle and her family and her group.
Happy birthday, dear Danny.
My sister, she was very unique, very creative and open, and she definitely stood for what she believed in, whether it upset people or not. She had no enemies that I knew of, and I could only think that maybe someone mad at something she was standing up for. But I couldn't imagine anything being serious enough to lead to hurting her or anything like that.
The little fatty, she just woke up to get to him. He was actually pretty quiet about that relationship. They met at a bonfire, and he did tell me I met someone new, but he didn't tell me a lot about her. He was definitely smitten. Seren was inexperienced in relationships, and he was very much in a 19-year-old kid's all-encompassing love with her.
Danielle's older brother, Robert Leo Marzejka Jr., had a troubling history. In 2015, his family once petitioned a court for mental health intervention, but the petition was dismissed.
I did not hear he was missing. I was at work Monday, and I had a call from a number I didn't know. So, of course, I didn't pick it up, but I Googled it, and it was a news reporter. I called her back, and she asked if this was Danielle Bryan, and I said yes. And then she asked some questions, and then she decided that she had the wrong Danielle Bryan. Then I guess she reached Seren's dad, and I think she told him that something had happened. He called me back, and I ran back up to my office and Googled Seren and Danielle and saw what had happened. So that's how I found out. Seren was a very kind person. He was sensitive to how others felt and wanted people to be comfortable.
My sister Danielle was a very beautiful soul. I mean, she was very unique and very creative. She loved the odd things in life. She didn't go for your basic, girly things that they all love, whether it's, flowers and whatnot. I mean, she loved spiders and bees and odd things like that, things that didn't get the normal attention. And a lot of her pictures, she would kind of put her head up and just her arms open and kind of embrace the world. She just loved the world, and she's seen the good in a lot of things that not many people would. I mean, it's definitely her most unique trait is how optimist she was about everything.
His drawings sometimes were how he worked out how he felt about situations by himself.
The nightmare was real. Not only were the teens gone, they had been brutally killed and hidden just steps away from where the family slept. Suspicion immediately turned inward. Police quickly focused on Robert Marzejka Jr., Danielle's 24-year-old brother. Robert was nowhere to be found.
You wait here till the detective is here, okay? No problem.
Kevin was cooperative in coming to our police station where we could conduct an interview with him.
What's your name? Kevin. Kevin, Joe Burns. I'm a detective here. Quick. How's Seren's relationship been with Danielle? I mean, they get along?
I mean, from what I was told from her friends,
Okay. That her boyfriend would never hurt her. So I figured, she got her. He was with her,
So just so I can get this straight in my head, because I'm not that smart.
Yeah.
Living there at that time, so within the last week, I had you living there, your dad,
Yeah.
Seren,
Yeah.
Danielle. Was there anybody else?
My brother.
Okay, and what's your brother's name?
Robert.
Okay.
I was a little bit surprised to hear about another brother because that was the first I had heard of it.
Were you trying to communicate with him that night? I tried on Facebook Messenger. Okay. But you didn't try to.
Well, the thing is, I could tell, he caught, drift of what's going on, and he pretty much said he's shutting his phone off. I gotta go charge my phone.
Yeah.
He never came back online.
Right.
So I didn't bother trying to call, trying to text. If he's not coming back online, he's obviously knows what's going on at that point.
I didn't know who Robert Jr. even was. I don't know if Robert Jr. is a suspect. I don't know if Robert Jr. just wasn't around and nobody brought him up. But at that point, I was very curious on why he was not mentioned in the beginning of this story.
What about your dad? How's your dad?
Plays a drunk.
Okay.
And we lost my mom in 2011, and he's never really been the same, 3 kids, we've been on our own pretty much since,
What does he do?
He paints.
Okay. So has he been painting at all?
Yep.
Okay. So he's been going out to work, but you said he's drinking quite a bit?
Yep.
He explained that when Dad got drunk, he would sometimes get angry and yell. If they're an alcoholic, they can be two different people at different times. And that got me a little suspicious at that point. So my next task was to interview Robert Sr. to try and gather more information.
I'm doing for you about her. And now the end is near. And so I face the final curtain. For you? And why for you? Because if that's her in my shed, I'm done, son. I'm done.
But at that point, I'm trying to figure out if this guy's just a strange guy or if he's actually trying to hide something from the police. We had a shed that was not broken into. Someone used a key to get into that shed. And during our questioning with Robert Sr., we finally got out of him that the key that was used to get in the shed was not his. It was Kevin's key.
And you don't remember whose key you used to get in there?
You know what? My key wasn't on the shelf.
Right.
I remember that.
Now you
But it always is.
Now you remembered after I told you that.
What?
It's the whole day you were telling me that it was your key you were using.
Because that's what I always use.
Alright. And when I told you that. Well.
Believe me, I just slept in days.
Okay. Well, I get that.
Listen. I remember it because I went up on the shelf where I have the house keys and it wasn't there. So I said, my key's not there. And I checked my pockets, because sometimes I have it. No, it wasn't there. Because we had to break the damn lock to get in.
Right.
And he couldn't explain why he originally told me it was his key. Whether it was he was just intoxicated or he was lying to me, I was still trying to figure that out at that time.
Where is Robert staying at right now?
I have no clue.
You said Robert was with you when you went to work on Thursday?
Yeah.
Did he pick you up or did you go pick him up or how did it work?
No, he picked me up. He dropped me off.
Okay. So he picked you up in the morning, dropped you off at 5:30.
Yep.
So you were with him the whole day?
Yes.
I'm trying to put pieces together because we want to talk to Robert so that we can get his story too,
I'd rather not involve somebody that doesn't need to be involved.
You realize we're talking about possibly dead people here, right?
The strange thing was that Robert Sr. was kind of shielding me away from Robert Jr., so I was suspicious about that. The medical examiner gave a cause of death for both victims as asphyxiation and blunt force trauma. So it was just way overboard overkill on this one. I looked around in the shed, didn't appear like you wouldn't see any blood spatter. So once I saw that, I thought this was not the actual scene where these people were killed. Looking around to your naked eye, it would look just like a bedroom. We use this stuff called Blue Start, so it reacts to where blood was. And the reason why we use that is because at this crime scene, someone had cleaned up. Someone had staged this bedroom to look like nothing happened in that room. The evidence tech located a bunch of evidence, black duct tape that had blood on it and hair on it, sheets that had blood on it, towels that had blood on it, a lot of different things that looked like were used to clean up maybe a crime scene.
Detectives launched a manhunt. Soon they tracked Robert's movements.
If Robert Jr. is on the run, he could be pretty far away by now. We also discovered that their family van was now missing and no one knew where it was. So we're starting to realize that Robert Jr., if he is our suspect, could have fled in that van. At that point, things started to move a little bit quicker for us, and we had to move fast. We got a search warrant for his cell phone records. I was looking at the 23rd, which was the last day that Seren and Danielle's coworker saw them. Well, later that morning, early afternoon, I see Robert Jr. was calling a local cab company, and I followed up with that cab company to find out if they did show up to give him a ride.
So I spoke to your operator. I asked her about the 23rd. You recall going to pick up somebody at that at a trailer last Thursday?
Okay, I think I kind of do remember.
Can you tell me anything about that pickup on who it was or anything you recall?
Oh, I can't really remember. Dropped them off at Wendy's. I didn't think of a specific spot it ought to be dropped off. Then first, I think at Walgreens and then at Wendy's. I pulled right in, and very first parking spot, he got out, he ate me, and that's all I know.
Pretty much in all the videos that I watch of Robert Jr., he appeared very calm. It's not like he had blood all over his clothing. He's just acting like the normal guy that you might be standing behind in line at the counter. So when I watched the video, I saw Robert Jr. at the Wendy's, which I know is a bus stop, getting onto the bus.
Do all the way down to Kelly.
And I saw him riding that bus till the end of the line, and you start to wonder, where is he going? Who is he meeting?
Have you got Farmington? No. Where you go? Right here? Oh, right.
Initially speaking to Robert Sr., he had told me that Robert Jr. on the 23rd was with him on a job across town, that they had rode together in this white van to this job. And now I'm watching this video of Robert Jr. taking cabs, getting on a bus. It was obviously not a true story, that Robert Jr. was never with Robert Sr. that morning. What I then found out is he was en route to meet his father, who was doing a construction job about 45 minutes away. So at this point, we knew if Robert Jr. was on the run, it was likely that he was in that van on the run. Previous owner, when he had it put up for sale, had taken a bunch of pictures of the van. So I created a crime bulletin. We distributed that to other law enforcement agencies and to the media to get it out to the public.
My thought process, I'm trying to think like Mr. Marzejka. He's trying to blend in within the community. I used the homeless to help me. I needed them to pound the pavement for me.
I wasn't certain if Robert Jr. was going to come back to the van or if Robert Jr. had just abandoned the van. When he got here, he explained to me that in speaking to Robert Sr., some of the things just weren't making sense, and he was trying to figure out how to make sense of things that weren't making sense.
His story was so flawed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think in him for a minute he could ever or would ever do that to Danielle. But, I mean, I think he knows. I think he knows what happened, and probably trying to help little Robert get a head start. And I'm like, so when did you discover? When did you discover the body? I go, Kevin said he did, and he goes, no, I did on Friday.
I was surprised that Robert Sr. would be delaying the police's response. I was having a hard time believing that somebody would actually do this.
Any idea where he would go?
It's in the western part of Florida. Sarasota? No, Pensacola. Yeah, all positive.
So this conversation broadens our investigation from he's not running to Toledo to stay in Toledo. He's not running to a couple miles away. He could be going cross country.
His van was spotted first in Toledo, Ohio.
You know he's wearing a disguise, the blonde wig and sunglasses and the tan baseball cap. It looked so foolish that he just stood out. He thought he was trying to blend in, but he actually stood out.
He went in and he purchased a cell phone. Presumably he was making a phone call to someone. And then shortly thereafter, he brought that phone back in, packaged back up, and returned it for the cash.
Anything else for you, Carlos?
He went there and purchased cigarettes and beverages and everything. But he was denied cigarettes because he didn't have identification. It's a challenge to me. It's like a cat and mouse game. He's trying to get away. My job is to catch him.
Days later, investigators found him inside a public library in Cincinnati. He was taken into custody without incident.
If we show up wearing our tack gear, he might see us walking up to the library, and at that point in time, he might book it. Cincinnati is a decent-sized city, and especially when you think you got someone locked down, you know, you don't want to give them an opportunity to slip out and go somewhere else. So my partner and I walk in the lobby, and there's a security guard that was sitting just left inside the doorway at that point. And the security guard is facing the elevators. And we identify ourselves and show them a picture and say, we're basically going to be looking around here. We're looking for this guy. If you see him, don't approach him because he's very dangerous. And at that point in time, I had my back kind of to the elevators, and I'm pulling up a picture of Robert Marzejka. I hear it ding, and I see the doors open up. He goes, there's your guy right there. At that point, I turn around, and my partner turned around, and I mean, there he is. I'm wearing the same hat, same long blonde hair wig, strolling off that elevator with not a care in the world, holding a cup of coffee, and he was pretty shocked. He was pretty shocked by it. It's almost like you're watching a hit cable TV show. And so at that point in time, we basically jumped him and actually got out of there pretty quickly.
So the marshals had their man, but that was not the end of my job. I had to continue with the investigation. Robert Jr. was transported up to the Clinton Township Police Department. So during my interview, I was trying to appeal to his human level and trying to get some kind of closure for the families. And so I was trying to appeal to his good-natured side if he had one.
I didn't see what happened. It was fucked up and unmanageable, you know? And it happened to your sister, which is awful, okay? But a lot of times there's reasons why things happen. Whether those reasons are understandable or not, I just hear your eval for credit. So, what did you have to say to her? Something happened that you lost. So, what happened?
Well, my first question was, what are my charges I could bear? The door with
You get 2 counts. This is actually the charge document here. 2 counts of homicide, murder, first degree.
Yeah. What is that?
Premeditated.
Well, premeditated.
Means you plan to do it. And if that's not the case, you tell me you're looking at the worst charge on. Okay. Showing 2 people. Alright. But nobody can understand why this happened.
I remember going through some of the facts that we had and to try and lay it out to him, the things that I knew. I thought he would maybe give me some kind of reasoning of why this happened, and he didn't. So at that point, Robert Jr. asked if he could call his brother, and secretly I'd hoped that maybe he was going to call his brother to confess or to tell him why he did it.
Hello? Hey, Kevin? Just got back from Cincinnati. I've got Robert here with me. Okay, all right. I'll talk to you in a few, Kevin. Okay. Hello? Hello? So, are you gonna make this case go easier, bro? I don't know. What do you mean?
Are you guys okay in the house? Like,
we're not living there anymore, Rob. There's fucking blood everywhere. So, are you pleading guilty to everything?
no, I'm not.
Why?
I can't really talk about it on the phone, but
my thinking is he doesn't have any friends. He's trying to get away. He's trying to get distance. My thought process is, one, he needs identification. And the security is going to ask for that as soon as you get into the airport. So that checks that off. The next 2 things is going to be the train station or the bus, which is all in one. Mr. Marzejka, he's trying to purchase a ticket. They pulled up the ticket information. They had the ticket printed, which said his alias, Josh Bianca. The ticket also said the location where he was going to, what time he left, which was 11:55 on the 28th, and he arrived in Cincinnati at 3:45 a.m. on the 29th.
But at that point, we knew his next destination, so we had to contact the U.S. Marshals down in the area of Cincinnati to start combing the area for Robert Jr. in the area of that bus stop or in the immediate area of that.
We have many core missions, but one of them is fugitive apprehension. And we pretty much pride ourselves in working with local police departments. It's best to have U.S. Marshals because there's not anywhere we can go. If we need to, in some cases, we can go outside the country as well. He had about a 6-hour head start on us, and we knew that he had definitely came to Cincinnati, so that was our breadcrumb at the time. So at that point in time, we started heading toward the Greyhound station there in Cincinnati. Once there, my partner and I went inside. We made contact with a Greyhound employee. He said, Marzejka, he came up to me. He only asked 2 questions. He asked me, 1, where can I buy a cell phone? And where's the library at?
Robert Jr. just told him he's going to plead not guilty. And at that point, it gets frustrating because you know that that good piece of evidence that we could have right there of his confession, we weren't going to get it. I believe what happened is Seren and Danielle return home at 8 in the morning from working all night and go to bed. Robert Sr. gets up to go to work. Robert Sr. and Robert Jr. were going to go paint that day. Robert Jr. was nowhere to be found. He wasn't in his bedroom. He wasn't there. So I believe Robert Sr. left to go to work, and then Robert Jr. then returned home at some point that morning. And something bad happened in Seren and Danielle's bedroom. I don't know if they were awake or if they were asleep, but I believe that they were bludgeoned to the head and knocked out right away. And probably right then is when Robert Jr. taped them up so they couldn't move, and then put them in bags and drug them out to the shed. This has been one of the more memorable cases in my career. The brutality of it was crazy and disturbing. There's mixed emotions as a detective. You are completely happy to be able to solve a crime, and my full detective bureau working on it tirelessly to solve a crime, catch a guy, go to court. He's found guilty. He's put away for life. That doesn't make up for the 2 murders and the loss of 2 lives and everybody who loves these 2 people. So it's a conflicted feeling. Professionally, you're happy because you get your guy, but personally, it doesn't make up for the loss of those 2 people. The family and friends that I met of the victims, even to this day, I've received cards from them and phone calls from them to keep in touch.
As much as my brother's done, I don't hate him. He's where he deserves to be. You know, he's where he belongs. I don't forgive him, and I don't think I ever will, but I don't hate him, and I definitely don't love him either. He's just not my brother. He's just some stranger that murdered my sister and her boyfriend and is in prison for the rest of his life. I have a son and a daughter on the way now, and that's just all I look forward to is being a father to them and creating my own family.
Why would a brother commit such an act? That was the haunting question on everyone's mind. Prosecutors laid out a disturbing case. Robert had lured Danielle and Seren, restrained them with duct tape, and suffocated them. The motive was less clear. Some suggested simmering resentment. Others pointed to Robert's unstable mental health. What was undeniable was the brutality, the calculated effort to bind, suffocate, and conceal the bodies in bags before fleeing across the state lines. In court, forensic evidence showed how deliberate the act had been. There was no accident, no misunderstanding. It was cold-blooded murder. Robert Marzejka was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. At trial in 2019, the prosecution described in detail how Seren fought for air as duct tape was wrapped around his face, how plastic bags were used to finish the job, and how Danielle too was suffocated. Family members testified about the shock and heartbreak of losing not 1, but 2 young lives.
Seren's with me every day. He's in my heart. I found the best way to honor Seren and keep his spirit alive is through Seren Shining Arts.
The defense raised issues of mental health, but the jury was not persuaded. In November 2019, Robert was convicted on both counts. In early 2020, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The sentencing did little to ease the grief of the families. Seren's mother described the agony of knowing how her son suffered. Danielle's relatives spoke of betrayal, how someone within their own home had destroyed their lives. The case left the community shaken. It highlighted the devastating impact of untreated mental health issues and the unimaginable reality of violence within a family. Danielle Marzejka and Seren Bryan were young, full of potential, with futures ahead of them. Their story ended far too soon in an act of senseless violence carried out by someone they trusted. Today, their families continue to mourn, and Robert Marzejka remains behind bars for life. This case serves as a haunting reminder that danger can sometimes come from the places we least expect, and that even the closest bonds can be shattered by violence. Subscribe for more videos that tell the full story.